Of Westminster Abbey. Later this afternoon, when we visit the Tower of London, the ancient fortress which houses our fabulous crown jewels, you'll see a little 5-6 minute footage taken on the Queen's coronation day, our present Queen's coronation day, over 56 years ago. Look to your right, perhaps the most famous clock in the world, Big Ben. You're supposed to look at your watch, look at Big Ben, set the time of your watch by Big Ben, because Big Ben's never wrong. And if it is, we British would never admit to it. Set your watch by London time according to Big Ben. The honey-coloured building of Parliament, you can tour through. There are tours going through Parliament at this moment in time and through to the end of October, when our very lazy members of Parliament come back from a very long summer holiday. This is Whitehall, the government sector of London. In the middle of the road ahead of us, the cenotaph with the flags flying upon it, where we honour our war dead. And then we'll see the black gates of Downing Street, number 10 Downing Street, the home of the Prime Ministers of Britain whilst they hold office of Prime Minister. First on the right, the cenotaph. Then look left to see the black gates of Downing Street. Used to be able to walk up Downing Street, stand outside number 10, get your photo taken. Not anymore, in case you're a nutcase with a bomb down your trousers. So we've had to put the gates up. We've had to put bulletproof vests on our policemen. The shock for the native Brits of seeing them with machine guns, with Smith & Wesson guns on their hip in their holsters, guarding that little tiny street, Downing Street. And it is a shock, because for the native Brit, we do not see our policemen with guns. They have the right to carry them if they choose to do so, but they don't choose to do so. So for us, it is quite a shock, huh? Sign of the times, eh? Here on the left, the great gateway of Horse Guards comes into view. And when there are no roadworks here, two soldiers sit on their horses in the two little grey stone gatehouses you can see just ahead of you and on your left. Because of all these roadworks, they're sitting way back in the courtyard. They guard the gate, which was once on the site of the great gate entrance into the royal palace of Whitehall, which was a favoured royal palace, all virtually burned down in the late 1600s. But we don't forget that palace. We call this street Whitehall. We call this area Whitehall. We stand the mounted guard of Horse Guards on the site of the great gate entrance, which was once the entrance in and out of Whitehall Palace, and in that way we remember what was once a very important royal palace to British kings and queens. Only one little area didn't burn down. The banqueting house on the right has a hand-painted ceiling in there by Peter Paul Rubens. The only ceiling he ever painted still in the position for which he painted it. Look left. The soldiers of the Life Guard have the guard of the gate. And you'll be able to walk through that arch, standing beside those soldiers to get a photo. I mean, I know it's a bit touristy, but hell, you are tourists, so it may be the one you want for your holiday snapbook album. We're looping around, clipping the edge of Trafalgar Square en route to the Duke of York steps. Now, for some of you who find walking very difficult, you may not want to walk too much more this morning. You may want to save yourself for the visits. I mean, this kind of day starts gently, because it's a panoramic overview in the morning, then our photo stop at Westminster Abbey and pit stop, comfort stop. And it's then a visit to the Horse Guards Museum, and so quite a gentle morning, and then lunch just after 12 o'clock. But after that, after lunch, you'll find it speeds. And so you need to pace yourself if you're not particularly good on the old pins, on the old legs, because this afternoon comes very little coaching, but lots of interior visits. We visit St Paul's Cathedral after lunch, the Cathedral Church of London. Magnificent, it's absolutely spectacular. We go on through the city to visit the Tower of London, the ancient fortress built over 900 years ago to guard London from attack from the east, from the sea, to see those crown jewels, to climb the different ramparts and towers and turrets and to explore it. And then we stroll on to catch our riverboat ride that will bring us back into central London by boat, where we meet Tony in our luxury coach and we drive you round to the London Eye for your ride aboard the London Eye. Don't forget that on this tour, Tour 200, your day finishes at the London Eye. You make your own way home from the London Eye. Waterloo Underground train station is just behind the London Eye, and it's the Bakerloo line, the Northern line and the Jubilee Underground train line all running out from Waterloo Underground train station. Plenty of taxis there, and so for those of you that feel by then, had about enough now, you know, you could always spoil yourself with a taxi, and as fast as the taxis come in and fill up, more taxis arrive. There's always plenty of taxis to be had there at the London Eye. But Trafalgar Square ahead of you, one of the great London landmarks, high on the column, the statue of Admiral Lord Nelson, who ran away to sea at the age of 12, worked his way up through the ranks to achieve the position of Admiral, and through his long years of naval battles, lost first his eye, then he lost his arm. He should have quit whilst he was still ahead, losing his life at Trafalgar. And later, after lunch at St Paul's Cathedral, I'll show you the tomb that houses his mortal remains. Canada House on the right, the cultural centre of Canada here in Trafalgar Square, and a very cheeky name for a fast food American style cafe. Next on the right you'll see even the Texan flag flying over the front door, the Texas Embassy. Well, just around the corner, the street of the gentlemen's clubs, bastions against attack, gentlemen, from the female sex. And I tell you girls, they don't want us in these gentlemen's clubs. They don't make us feel particularly welcome either, for that matter. So the Texas Embassy on the right, the fast food American style cafe. And then on our left we'll see the Institute of Directors, Gentlemen's Club. Got to be a director of your company to be a member here. So the old guard of Horse Guards, who have stood sentry duty back in Whitehall for the last 24 hours, they are going to be sitting on their horses side by side by side, their swords over their shoulder, motionless like statues. The new guard has travelled from their barracks in Hyde Park, and they will row up side by side by side by side by side, sitting on their horses, their swords over their shoulder, looking at each other for 30 minutes basically. The best bit, a little of Horse Guards guard change goes a jolly long way actually. Here on the left, the Institute of Directors, Gentlemen's Club. As we turn, the gold statue of Athena over the front door of the, here on the right, the Athenaeum Gentlemen's Club. The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. A snippet of the nursery rhyme we still teach to British children to this day about the man on the column here on the left.